This is Lancers Soccer 80. Today's telecast brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And Pepsi-Cola Bottlers of Rochester. Doing the play-by-play for today's game is WOKR Sports Director Ron DeFrance. Tom Pippins will be handling the color commentary. And now, live from Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the Rochester Lancers meet the Fort Lauderdale Strikers.
Playing at a striker position again tonight, catapulted to the top of the NASL scoring race with 3 goals and an assist in his first game of the season. The Peruvian
Opener against the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Hello, everybody. I'm Ron DeFrance along with Tom Pippins. And welcome to the Rochester Lancers opener for the 1980 season. Lancers with a kind of a new look this year. Gone are familiar faces like Mijatovic, Foslich, Dave DeRico on defense. Of course, gone in the goal will be Messing. And up front will be Silva. But we have many new names, including a coach, Ray Klevecka, making his debut also. Also, some of the new names, Strenisser. We're going to have also in the back line guys like Harshani. And up front will be Coker. Now, as I mentioned, this is the Lancers opener, but for Fort Lauderdale, Tom Pippins, it is their 4th game, so that's going to make a difference.
Yes, indeed, with a record of 2-1, also a new coach in Cor van der Hart. He comes over from Holland, brings some new players, a relatively new system. It says, be patient, Fort Lauderdale fans. It'll take a while before the system begins to work, and indeed, they lose the season's opener. But then the outstanding win against Toronto, and then, of course, many of us saw it on cable television, a victory, of course, against the Cosmos 4-1 in Teofilo Tobias. The hat trick. The Strikers very definitely are ready. They are here sooner than many expected. However, according to Ray Klevecka and company, the Cosmos didn't do certain things they could have to have been much more successful, and he hopes his Lancers will execute tonight. So we're very excited, as I'm sure everyone back home is, about the opening kickoff of the new decade for our Lancers.
Okay, Tom, we thought maybe the weather would be a key, but it really has cooled off here, so I don't think it really will be a factor. I think the big factor will be the payday in goal, his NASL debut, and also the fact that this is the Lancers' first game as compared to the Strikers' 4th game.
Yes, indeed. I think we should mention, too, the heat. Coach Klevecka is very concerned about the heat. He's had his players going at liquids and what have you, watching their diets, watching nutrition. It should be a very exciting contest.
Okay, we'll be back with the opening lineups right after this.
To everybody who puts in a hard day's work, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. This Bud's for you. This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
Hey, this Bud's for you.
Well, what seems to be your problem?
My house is too warm in the summer and too cold in the winter. It hurts to pay high heating bills.
You came to the right place. That's why they call me the climate doctor. I've got the cure that'll save you money.
You mean I won't have that pain in my wallet anymore?
Not with an efficient GE WeatherTime heat pump installed by Isaac Heating and Air Conditioning. I prescribe a low-energy diet, which cuts high heating costs in the winter and provides cooling in the summer.
Thanks for the relief, Doc. I knew I could count on you and Isaac Heating.
As we say, when you need us, we'll be there.
When your world is make-believe, paper skies and electric sun, and you've got a taste for something real, milk's the one.
It can help you give it your best.
The taste can't be outdone.
Any time of day, it's time to say, milk's the one. Milk's the one for flavor. Milk's the one for fun. Any time of day, it's time to say, milk's the one. Any time of day, it's time to say, milk's the one.
Back at Lockhart Stadium, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ron DeFrance along with Tom Pippins. Tom, let's take a look at the starting lineups.
All right, of course, we have from Brooklyn a much-traveled veteran, Arnie Mauser, a goals against average of less than 2 in 1979 for Fort Lauderdale. The defenders will be Arsene Auguste, John Pott, Ken Fogarty, and Steve Robovsky. Robovsky will be replacing Jamari, who has come up with a pulled stomach muscle. You may have seen him if you watched the game on cable television against the Cosmos last Wednesday night. At the midfield, the outstanding captain, Ray Hudson, and Francisco Mourinho. What a game he played against New York, and of course he comes from the Cosmos. Number 8 is Colin Fowles, and number 14, Eduardo Bonvalet. The twin strikers, the forwards, the German star, Gerd Mueller, and Teofilo Cubillas, the outstanding player from Peru. We take a look now at our Lancers, and Enzo DePede in goal. A first start, as Ron mentioned, a real key. He's very excited about his first chance in the North American Soccer League. And the defenders will be Laszlo Harsani, coming over from San Diego, Renato Chila, Jim Palahan, and Damir Sutevsky. Moving along to the midfield now, Gene Strenicer, of course, the veteran who was very, very excellent in defeating Rochester a few years ago, you may recall, with Toronto. Fred Gergerev, the captain of this team. Just this morning, Coach Klevecka told us he is the new captain. Val Tuksa, the other midfielder. At the forward, Stojanovic, Coker, a real fine player, good speed and quick, and Branko Segota.
Okay, Tom, opening kickoff coming up in just a moment. Rochester Lancers Soccer 1980. We'll be back in a moment.
And the New England team went 3-0. All right, lads, refreshments are on me.
Lipton iced tea.
Here you go, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. Nothing refreshes better than the good taste of Lipton iced tea. Magic. Guess it must be the quality teas they put in these flow-through bags.
That's jolly good. I guess we all like the taste of Lipton.
Of course. Why do you think they call us the Tea-Men?
42.
Oh, what a call! What a heartburn. How do you spell relief? Check the board, Coach. R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolaids spells relief. Unbeatable relief. Relief Tums can't beat. Relief no other leading antacid can beat.
For comic relief, I put on a frown. But for acid indigestion, I spell relief. R-O-L-A-I-D-S. Unbeatable.
Rolaids spells relief. Unbeatable relief.
Back at Lockhart Stadium, we're all ready for our opening kickoff, and there's the referees. It'll be Manuel Ortiz, your referee, and your linesmen, James Fitzpatrick and John Rick. It'll be Fort Lauderdale kicking off, and there it is, and the 1980 soccer season for the Rochester Lancers is now underway. The strikers with the ball moving from left to right, and the Lancers in their blue and gold moving from right to left. This is Cubillas on the attack. It goes into touch, and it'll be striker throw-in.
And right away, we should mention that Sutevsky has the job of guarding the dangerous Cubillas, who had the hat trick against New York. Coach Klevecka wants much tighter marking than occurred during that New York game here last Wednesday night.
This is going to be a man-to-man type of a situation. Lancers actually will be playing a 3-4-3 with Harshani in the zone in the back. Here's Jimmy Palahan now as the Lancers come up on the attack. Here's Jim with a long pass. Oh, and a nice heel pass over to Coker, but it didn't work. That was Branko Segota. We haven't mentioned it yet, but Branko, of course, coming off an outstanding year last year, picking right up where he left off last year. Hopefully, he has a slight hamstring, but he's about 80%. Okay, Lancers on the attack. Fort Lauderdale keeps it in. And Fort Lauderdale brings it back. We might mention also that Branko Segota also going for a record in this game. If he scores another goal, it'll tie a record held by David of Los Angeles. There's a shot by Tuksa. And an easy save for Arnie Mauser in goal for Fort Lauderdale.
Coach Klevecka tells us, Ron, that the key to this match is right in the middle. The Lancers have to control the midfield play and be much more offense-oriented than the Cosmos were. Again, we keep referring to the Cosmos on the right there.
Here's Bonvalet on the right side. Nice pass inside. There's a header. And it goes over the goal. So it'll be goal kick coming up for the Lancers.
Ron, as I look at Enzo DePede, and we watched him on the bus, the trip over late this afternoon, so pensive, so much on his mind, saying, I just want to make that first save so I can feel real good about my debut here tonight.
Enzo DePede, first game in the NASL. He was born in Italy, but is now a Canadian citizen, has played in the shadow of Shep Messing for 2 years, He was, of course, a member of the Canadian Olympic team. He's getting his shot here. Here's Branko Segota battling with Hudson. Goes into touch.
And you'll notice that number 7, Fogarty, the fine defensive player, the outstanding defensive player on the team, on Segota one-on-one, he'll hound him the entire match.
Here's Gene Streniser, one of the new Rochester Lancers. He gets it back to Tuska. Tuksha by himself gets it over Mike Stoyanovich on the right-hand side. Here comes Mike. He's being marked by Rabowski. And it goes into touch. It'll be a throw-in for the Lancers. And Mike Stoyanovich will throw it in. Tuksha over there. We also had Gurgarev breaking. Here's Mike with a shot and another easy save for Arnie Mauser for the Strikers.
Now, Ron, it should be mentioned here, as you know, that Stoyanovich, Segota, the Strikers know of these veterans, and they will key on them. I call Segota a veteran only because of last year. In fact, against this team in 2 matches, he scored 3 goals. But look for keys from the other players. Addy Coker. Coker could be a real key with his speed and quickness. Klevecka would like to isolate him one-on-one and see if he can work on a goose number 2 for the Strikers.
Okay, the Strikers have it. This is Mourinho. Here's a goose overlapping. A goose moving way in. Coker didn't get to him. There's a shot. It was wide right. That was a goose overlapping. Total offense by Coach Cor Vanderhart of the Strikers.
And what we mean by this is that you're going to see, ladies and gentlemen, much more aggressive soccer on the part of the Strikers. They will play, well, defenders will come up as a goose did all the way, back and forth. He wants offense and defense from every member of the field, if possible, with the exception, of course, of Goldie Mauser.
There's a long ball down to Mourinho. That's Chila covering Mourinho. It'll be Chila's responsibility to cover Mourinho. Tuksha will be on Hudson. Streniser will be covering Fowles. Freddie G will be covering Bonvalet. Palahan, his duty will be Gerd Mueller. Satevsky will be covering Kubias. Okay, here's a goose. Getting it way over, trying to get it over to a goose. Lancers coming back now. This is Streniser, one of the new Rochester Lancers, over to Satevsky. He's overlapping. He has room down the right side. He gets by Rabowski. He's still going. There's a collision by Fowles and Satevsky, and it goes into touch. It'll be a Lancer throw-in.
Very much pleased that the Strikers really dominated against the Cosmos. Perhaps there'll be that letdown against the Lancers, and the Lancers, he feels, in terms of the amount of time he's had to work with them, they're very much ready for this contest tonight.
Throw in for the Lancers. Here's Streniser going over to throw it in. Incidentally, Streniser will be taking all the corner kicks, and it'll be a set play, and we'll explain to you just how they're going to do that. Strikers get it out now. There's a collision. It's play on by the referee. Tuksha comes up with it. Tuksha in the 35-yard line. He has left side open. Here comes Tuksha around. He's covered by Bonvalet. Tuksha moving in, penetrating. Here's a cross, but it doesn't work. Bonvalet got a piece of it. And it's taken out by a goose, but the Lancers get it back. Long shot by Streniser, and a save by Arnie Mauser.
I think initially we should point out that with just a few minutes gone in the match, the Lancers look very good. They are the aggressors. This is just what Klevecka wants.
Okay, Strikers trying to bring it back now. That's Bonvalet getting it over the pot. And it's broken up once again. This Streniser. Streniser gets it back. Back to Streniser again. Going over to Jimmy Palahan. Here's Chila all by himself on the right-hand side. And they pass it over to Chila. He was waving for it, and he's got it now. Here comes Chila. Down the left side, over the center stripe. Into the danger zone. Nice pass inside to Coker. Here comes Coker, and broke it up there by a goose. And it'll be a corner for the Lancers. Set it up, Tom.
All right, we'll have Gene
Rochester.
A direct kick. In other words, he won't try to banana the ball one way or the other. He'll go directly and watch for a pair of teams. Gurgarev will be working with Segota, numbers 9 and 20 respectively. On the far side, you'll see Stoyanovich and Coker. Gurgarev is the key. Wants to go over toward the near side, see if he can get the ball headed in, or else perhaps flick it back for Stoyanovich, who will use Coker as a basketball pick, in effect. Let's see what happens.
Here it is. There's the header. No good. There's a shot broken up. Nicely by Goose. Lancers still have it. Lancers still the aggressors. Here's Chila. Here comes Tuksha. Tuksha getting over to Streniser, but a little bit too far, and it goes into touch. There is 38-13 remaining. It's scoreless, and Rochester Lancer Soccer 1980 will continue in a moment.
Catch that Pepsi spirit. Catch that Pepsi spirit. Catch that Pepsi spirit. Catch that Pepsi spirit.
Nike. First name in athletic footwear and Marjack's first place in sports team up to stop runaway prices. All Nike footwear on sale at Marjack's. Save 20% on all Nike Road King and Road Queen running shoes. Save on Nike Road Runners and Waffle 2s. Save on kids shoes, Nike Kurt Canvas and Wally Waffles. All Nike Canvas and Leather Blazer high tops and all Nike Canvas and Leather Oxfords on sale. Even Nike all-purpose cleats on sale. Save up to 20% during Nike Marjack's team up sale. Marjack's, first place for Nike, first place in sports.
Back at Lockhart Stadium, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Rod DeFrance, along with Tom Pippins, the Rochester Lancers, in their debut for the 1980 season against the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Fort Lauderdale coming into this match with a 2-1 record, including a big, impressive win over the Cosmos. And the Lancers, of course, their first game. So that is a disadvantage for the Lancers. Lancers have it right now. They've pretty much controlled play so far, Tom.
I've been very impressed. Again, they're controlling the midfield and working the upper third. This is just what the coach wants if they continue to do this. And if we have a tie, say, in another 15, 16 minutes, Coach Klevecka feels this is a very, very big key for us. It's a real advantage for the Lancers. So let's hope it continues.
Strikers have it. Bonvalet. Bonvalet gets it over to Mueller. And there's a whistle. Ball against the Lancers.
Foul on Rochester.
And the referee says bring it up a little bit further. Bring it up there. Freddie G not agreeing with him. Getting the wall back. Here's the kick. And the shot is wide right. But it was deflected by a Lancer, so it'll be a corner kick. And that is Hudson taking the kick.
Mourinho took the direct hit and he able to do that.
Gets over here to Auguste. Auguste with a long shot. That goes wide left. Once again, that was off a Lancer, so it'll be another corner kick.
Auguste, one of the veterans, picked up from Tampa Bay. He is really a quality NASL soccer player, two-way player, as you can see already.
There's Rabowski trying to get over to Hudson. Brignol in there. That's Jimmy Polahan getting it out of danger. Comes over to Bronco Segota. Here's Bronco. Bronco trying to get away from Fogarty. Fogarty, nice tackle. Bronco goes down. It is a foul against Fogarty.
Well, this is something we're going to see throughout the course of the season, Ron. Everyone is keying on Segota. Coach Klevecka says, Bronco, you're going to be without that ball perhaps 97% of the time. So move without it and create some openings if you can. This is a key. The more effectively Segota moves, as Chila's about ready to put the ball in play, the more successful Rochester will be.
Here's Chila. Coker. Pop broke it up. Goes over on the right-hand side. That's Streniser. Streniser tried to center it. Didn't work. Broken up by Pott. Here come the Strikers back down. On the left side, here's a cutter. Here's Mourinho. Mourinho being marked by Tuccia. Mourinho trying to get around Tuccia, but he doesn't do it. There's a whistle, though. And there's going to be a foul against Tuccia. Right at the 35-yard line.
One point mentioned by Klevecka. When you play more offense-oriented, as we look at Cubillas, and the Lancers are trying to do that, you hurt yourself somewhat on defense. We have to fill the spaces, Klevecka says. Get back quickly on the wings, or we'll be hurt by these Strikers.
Trying to get over to Mueller, but Jimmy Polahan right on top of him. And DePayday comes out to make the save. Hands it over to Jimmy Polahan. Jimmy Polahan coming down the left side. Gets over to Bronco. Here's Coker breaking down the left side. Broken up by Bonvalet. And there's another whistle and another foul. This one against the Strikers. This is Chila putting it into play. We have 33-29 remaining in the first half. Still no score. Here's Bronco. Bronco Segota. Bronco with a long shot. Wide right. Quick shot by Bronco from the 35-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we have just a moment, let's tell you don't miss a single minute of exciting Lancer soccer in 1980. The Lancer office is now open to accept orders for season tickets. Call 232-2420 for the Lancers season ticket brochure. That's 16 games of Major League Soccer action just by calling 232-2420.
Strikers have it now. Little trip down there by fouls, but it was knocked out by Streniser. It'll be a throw-in for the Strikers. Bonvalet. Bonvalet with a long ball. Tries to get it into Cubillas. Here's Hudson. Hudson gets it to Mourinho. Now the striker's on the attack. Here's Cabillas by himself. Cabillas with a shot. Broken up there by Jimmy Polahan. Cabillas around Sutevsky that time.
Polahan did an outstanding job of coming over to help out because Cabillas, a beautiful move on Sutevsky. All right, watch him now. Very quick with both feet. Getting set, trying to make the shot, and then Jimmy spoiling the effort and the clear by the Lancers. No score, 32:08 to go in the first half.
That was a long cross by Rabowski. Strikers still have it. This is Mourinho. Mourinho being marked by Coker. He gets it over to Auguste. Auguste gets beyond Strenisser. Fires a shot. Broken up that time. And we have a foul on that play.
Polahan Ron again coming over and trying to help out aggressively. Now, one point to mention, too, Harsanyi will be the sweeper. He will play a zone in back of Polahan and Sutevsky. Polahan, of course, man-to-man on Mueller. Sutevsky, man-to-man on Cabillas. And Klevecka, the coach, feels it's much more successful than trying to get four back there and giving them room to operate. You don't want these veterans to get the room to operate, tightly mark them, and force them to have a tough time moving without the ball.
Okay, Lancers have it. That was Mourinho looking for a foul, but he didn't get it. And there's Cheetah giving it back to Enzo DePayday. DePayday out to Harsanyi. Harsanyi, one of the newest Rochester Lancers.
Last year, Harsanyi, of course, was the captain of the San Diego Soccer team. And he is thought to be one of the most solid defenders in the entire North American Soccer League. And the Strikers move to our right. Hudson putting it into play.
Here's Hudson. Hudson getting it over to Pott. Pott brings it back to Fogarty. So the Strikers still having a problem getting it in. That was Hudson. Let it go through to Mourinho, but broken up by Chila. There was a collision between Coker and Auguste. There's Coker. He has it. He tried to get it down to Chila. Did not go out. But it'll be the Strikers' ball. Strikers bring it in. Here comes Fogarty. Fogarty with a long ball down to Mourinho. Mourinho controlling the ball. Mourinho, look at that.
He was brilliant against the Cosmos. Excuse me, Ron.
Long shot inside. There's a shot. Wide right.
Oh, and I believe DePayday, with those quick reflexes of his, got a hand on the ball.
Let's take a look at it again, Tom.
All right, inside, again, Cabillas with a hard shot. Brilliant moves. Watch it. I believe that DePayday, moving to his left, just managed to deflect the ball off.
I don't think he quite reached it. Lancer's ball. It would have been a corner if he did.
Good point.
So the Lancers coming back. That's DePayday. Getting it way down. A little bit too far. It's going to go all the way back. Going to go back to Mauser.
Now, of course, you can see that momentum switching just a bit. The Strikers now much more aggressive, starting to control the play at midfield and their third of the field. And, of course, that's something that Coach Klevecka and the Lancers don't want to happen.
Foul against Cheetah. There's a quick shot over to Rabowski. Broken up in there by Jimmy Polahan. Here come the Lancers back. Goes over to Coker. Coker gets it back to Tukchev, a little bit behind him. And here's Sutevsky on the right side. Sutevsky doesn't get around Cabillas. Cabillas breaks it up. Strikers coming back now. Here's Hudson. Dangerous situation here. In the Mueller with a shot wide right.
Mueller shot goes wide.
28:55 remaining in the first half. Still no score. It'll be a goal kick for the Lancers, and Rochester Lancers Soccer 1980 will continue in a moment.
Weekends were made for Michelob.
The special weekend pride of a gourmet chef. What better accompaniment than the smooth and mellow taste of Michelob? Brewed naturally with the finest ingredients and very special care. Michelob, a very special beer.
Weekends were made for Michelob.
Yeah.
Copier companies have been introducing small copiers with a very interesting claim.
And it's just as good as a Xerox.
It's just as good as a Xerox. Then one day, this compact copier is very versatile. It even copies on your own letterhead. It's inexpensive, but best of all...
I know, it's just as good as a Xerox.
It is a Xerox. The Xerox 2600, the compact copier that really is just as good as a Xerox.
Back at Lockhart Stadium, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ron DeFrance along with Tom Pippins, the Rochester Lancers, with their opener against the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. So far, no score, 27-34 remaining in the first half. And that's a good sign for the Lancers. The Cosmos, who scored quick, and they scored 3 goals quick against the Cosmos in their game Wednesday night. Have not been able to do too much. They had one dangerous situation, but the shot went wide right by Cabillas. Lancers coming back now in the danger zone. Over on the right-hand side. This is Strenicer. Strenicer with a little lob into Mike Stanovich. Broken up in there by Mauser.
Great anticipation by the Strikers netfinder.
Nice pass by Strenicer.
Watch Mike move in with a good hustle, but Mauser coming out, cutting down the angle and smothering the ball.
And we're back live. This is Hudson for the Strikers. Hudson trying to get it over to Mourinho. Back to Hudson, and a nice give and goal. And he's tripped up by Chila.
Tripping foul against the Lancers. Strikers free kick.
And Chila getting a talking to by referee
Number 6,
Manuel Ortiz.
Of course, Chila, a very, very aggressive player. He ran into problems with yellow cards and what have you last year and there on the trip.
Of course, Mourinho does put on a pretty good act. Inside. Goes over everybody. And this is Coker coming over and getting it back to DePayday. DePayday tested a couple of times in this match so far. No real direct shots on goal as yet. 4 shots by the Strikers, 3 shots by the Lancers. No saves as yet for DePayday. Here's Segota. Segota over to Tuksha. Tuksha with a quick shot, but right at Mauser.
I believe he surprised everyone with that one, Ron. I'm sure the Strikers don't feel that Tuksha is a great threat as far as offense is concerned. Put the shot right on.
That's 4 saves now for Arnie Mauser. Mauser gets it out. That's Sutevsky. Gets it over to Tuska, but it's broken up. Here comes Hudson. Dangerous situation here with a shot and a wide left. That was Hudson to Mourinho. Mourinho shot it wide left. Here it is again, Tom.
All right, Hudson moving in, the give and go with Mourinho, and they worked this so effectively the other night against Cosmos, and the shot off to the right of Enzo DePayday. But if the Strikers continue to attack this way and they're winning the one-on-one advantages, Cabillas is giving Sutevsky a tough time, then the Lancers could be in for some trouble. We're still scoreless with 24:59 to go.
It goes into touch. It'll be a throw-in for the Strikers. And it goes into Cabillas. Cabillas gets it back from Urbowski. Cabillas still has it. Cabillas into the danger zone. Quick shot into Mueller. Here's Mueller with a nice pass over the right-hand side. Here's Mourinho. Dangerous situation now. Inside. Broken up in there by Jimmy Palahan. Oh, and a nice tackle by Branko Segota. So the Strikers still have it. Long ball inside, and it goes wide right. It'll be a goal kick for the Lancers. 24-20 remaining in the first half. Still no score. We're at Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And Hollander Stadium has traditionally been the stronghold of the Lancers. The Lancers will open the 1980 home season 3 weeks from tomorrow, Sunday, May 4th at 3 p.m. Be on hand when the Lancers take on the Philadelphia Fury and their new coach, Eddie Firmani, formerly, of course, of the Cosmos. Youngsters of all ages can start collecting Lancer trading cards, courtesy of Pepsi and Wendy's. A different card will be passed out at each game. That's the Lancers home opener, Sunday, May 4th at 3 p.m. against the Philadelphia Fury at Hollander Stadium. We hope you attend.
Bonvalet has it. Bonvalet into Mueller. Mueller gets it back, but too far. Goes by. Coker has it now. Coker brings it over to Branko Segota. Segota moving in. Gets around Fogarty. Branko still has it. Pass over the right-hand side, but it was behind Coker. And here's fouls with the Strikers. Good penetration by the Lancers. Here's Bonvalet. Bonvalet bringing it back for the Strikers. Still in their own zone. Gets it over to Hudson. Hudson and Mourinho work so well together. Here's Auguste overlapping on the right-hand side. Auguste with room on the right-hand side. Here's Freddie G. Freddie G marking Auguste. Auguste with a lot of time. Gets it back to Bonvalet. Bonvalet over the 35-yard line into the danger zone. Into the Rochester zone. Now over to Hudson. Here's Hudson moving left. Moving diagonally with a shot inside. And Mueller, watch out for this one. Jimmy Palahan breaks it up. Another breakup. And that's Freddie G getting it out. Goes over to Mourinho. Over to Bronco. Bronco gets it back, but Strikers still have it. Strikers going back. This is Fogarty. Fogarty on the left. There's fouls, but it's broken up by Strenicer. Strenicer of the Lancers. Number 13 gets it over to Jimmy Polahan.
Polahan impresses. Outstanding position defense that time on Gerd Mueller, the German star who scored 55 points for Fort Lauderdale in 1979.
Number 21, Val Tuxa has it now. Gets it over to Strenicer. Strenicer over the 35-yard line. Here comes Strenicer with a little shot inside to Mike Stoyanovich. Broken up in there by the Fort Lauderdale defense. There's a nice pass over the right-hand side of Mourinho. Mourinho running diagonally. Now forward. Mourinho gets it over to Mueller. Tried to give it a give and go, but it didn't work. And that's the payday. The payday gets it over to Tuxa.
And some good news for your Lancer fans because Toronto trails Atlanta in one match we have as far as the score is concerned to pass along to you. The score at halftime, Atlanta 2, Toronto 1.
21.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Still no score. Here's Bronco Segota. There's a whistle and a foul. It's going to be against the Strikers. Segota with a quick move and a long shot, and it goes wide right, and it'll be a goal kick for the Strikers. 21-23 remaining in the first half. Still no score. Rochester Lancer Soccer 1980 will continue in a moment.
Make your yard work a little easier this year with a dependable Yardman mower from Hill TV. Choose a push or self-propelled reel mower, a rotary mower and mulcher, a riding mower, or one of Yardman's many lawn and garden tractors. See the complete line of Yardman mowers, tractors, tillers, shredders, trimmers, log splitters, and much more now at Hill TV, 277 Winton Road North, where we service what we sell.
It starts with a bolt of fabric. Only the finest materials available are chosen for the world's most renowned men's suits, Hickey Freeman. Long hours of highly skilled workmanship go into a Hickey Freeman suit. Each detail of every garment is carefully attended to, including hand sewing to perfection, giving the Hickey Freeman suit its exquisite fit and uniquely superb styling. And that's why we bring the Hickey Freeman suit collection to our customers. We're McFarland's, the complete men's specialty store.
Back at Lockhart Stadium, 20 minutes left in the first half. Still no score. The Lancers with their opener against the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Mourinho. Mourinho with the direct kick. Goes over to Rabowski. Rabowski with a long lob inside. Broken up in there by Coker. And Harshani gets it out. Here comes Bronco with a nice pass over to Mike Stoyanovich, but 4 defenders around him, so he slows it down. And there's a foul.
Coach Kveka has been impressed with the play in the preseason of Mike Stoyanovich. No one, he says, is running harder, hustling more, or looking more impressive. Stoyanovich along with Freddie G. I'm sorry, Ron.
Right. Nice pass down to, had the right idea. Sheila with a give and go to Coker, but it goes into touch. And it'll be a throw-in. Throw-in by the Strikers.
2 seasons ago, Ade Coker suffered a very serious knee injury, an intentional knee injury in a game against Philadelphia, and he was told he'd only have, well, a less than 50% chance of returning to the game of soccer. A very, very bad ligament damage, and he came back brilliantly. He has the real good speed and the quickness, and, well, he could do some damage here tonight.
There comes Mike Stoyanovich, but it goes back to Arnie Mauser. We're in kind of cramped quarters here. Somebody just dropped their watch, Tom.
Right.
Here's Mourinho. That was Hudson. Back to Potts. Now it's over to Rabowski. Rabowski on the left-hand side. Rabowski with a little bit of room. Rabowski moving over the 35-yard line. There's another long shot inside. That's Kobias. But Sutevsky breaks it up. Mourinho now. Broken up that time by Jimmy Polahan. That's Tuchka trying to get it out. Kobias still has it. Nice play by Strenicer. But Strikers still have it. This is a goose. Gets it back to Bonvalet. Bonvalet with a give and go. Broken up. Lancers coming back now with a lot of room. Here comes Tuchka. Tuchka has Coker in the left-hand side. Coker trying to outrun the ball, but he can't. There'll be a throw-in for the Strikers. We have 17:55 remaining in the first half. Still no score. Here comes Pot. Pot has it for the Strikers. Gets it down to Mourinho. Mourinho covered by Chila. And Marino saying he's all over me. The referee says okay. Marino gets it into play. Over to Bonvalet, back to Marino. Marino going to give it to Bonvalet with a give and go. This is Harshani breaking it up. It'll be a corner kick for the Strikers.
Ray Hudson will take the
It'll be their third corner kick. And it'll be Hudson putting it into play. Hudson, the team captain of the Strikers. In fact, he shares NASL scoring honors with Cabillas. 7 points apiece. Broken up there by Tuksha. That'll be another throw-in. Hudson will do it.
Lancers played effectively that time. Again, good position on the corner.
Here comes Auguste. Auguste with a long ball. Oh, offsides. So the payday not really tested yet, Tom.
No, he hasn't been. He's had a lot of help in front of him.
He hasn't had to make a save as yet.
No, he hasn't. However, the Strikers, as you know, have been controlling play, I think, almost since the first few minutes of kickoff time when the Lancers came out and looked very, very good. I'd like to see the Lancers start something now.
Should be Polahan coming at you that time. But it goes into touch. And it'll be a throw-in for the Strikers. 16:30 remaining in the first half. Still no score. And they say they're going to bring the throw-in up a little further, up around the 35-yard line, and Hudson will do it.
Ron, as you know, Mourinho has been a key acquisition for this club. There's number 6 with the ball, the real quarterback on the team.
Mourinho with a pass over on the left-hand side. Great anticipation to Rabovsky. Rabovsky with a shot inside, but it's broken up in there by Sutevsky. Now here comes Tuksha. Tuksha down the left side. Tuksha gets over to Bronco. That's Fogarty covering Bronco. Bronco trying to get around, but he had help from Hudson, and Hudson breaks it up. And it'll be striker ball.
Tuksha that time with a handball.
Hudson has it now. Here's Hudson. Hudson going back. Looking for help. Gets it back to Fogarty. They go back to set it up. Here's Pot. Pot down the left side. Pot over the 35-yard line. Inside. Broken up there by Jimmy Polahan. That's Harshani getting it out. Here's Bronco Segota. Fogarty does not hold it in. Or does not hold it out. It goes into touch. So it'll be a throw-in for the Lancers. Strenisser will be throwing it in. We have 15 minutes remaining in the first half. Still no score. Here's Chila. Chila approaching the 35. Gets it over to Freddie G. Freddie going back. Now gets it to Chila. Broken up in there by Mourinho, but Tuksha gets it back. Here's Tuksha with a long shot, and it goes wide left.
Good low, hard shot by Val.
Tried to catch the corner on that one.
Yes, he did. Val is not the most gifted player in the world. Anyone will tell you that, but no one works harder. He is a dogged defender and a very effective individual to have at the midfield position from a defensive standpoint especially.
That's Sutevsky with a header, but it goes over to Rabovsky. Rabovsky again over there on the left-hand side. Here comes Rabovsky. He's been lobbing those long ones inside. Let's see if he does it again. There it is. It goes into Cabillas. Here's Cabillas, marked by Sutevsky. Cabillas trying to get around Sutevsky and broke it up by Demir. A nice play by Demir Sutevsky. Another corner kick coming up for the Strikers. This time it'll be Auguste.
From Peru, just a brilliant player. In fact, in 1970 in World Cup competition, he was runner-up most valuable player to the brilliant Pelé.
Here comes the corner. There's Auguste. Broken up in there by Sutevsky. Sutevsky playing a fine game. Now Fogarty has it. He gets it back to Auguste, but it's knocked out by Bronco Segota. Right at the 35-yard line.
And Bronco hustling both ways. This is what Coach Klevecka wants. He wants his forwards to hustle 2 ways in this match.
That was Mourinho. That was Chila breaking it up. It'll be a throw-in. Auguste was going to take it, but Mourinho takes it. There's a shot by Hudson. And it goes wide left. 13:24 remaining in the first half. There is still no score. That'll be a goal kick for the Lancers. Enzo de Payday gets it over to Harshani. Harshani, born in Budapest, Hungary, played for the Hungarian national team, and 6 seasons with Budapest Dosa, a first division team, defected from Hungary with Joe Horvath. And he played for San Diego, of course, last season. Joe was with us 2 seasons ago. It goes into touch, and it'll be a Lancer throw-in, a quick throw-in. There's Freddie G trying to get around, but Bonvalet breaks it up, and Mourinho comes back to get it. Still no score. Over the center stripe, Grabowski playing a key part in this match. Long pass over to Bonvalet all by himself. Here's Tuksha coming up. And that leaves Hudson all by himself. Here comes Hudson. Hudson with a shot. And it's score for the Strikers. Striker captain Ray Hudson has now taken over the lead in the NASL in scoring. That's his third goal. Here it is again, Tom.
Well, he has 9 points overall. Sooner or later it was going to happen. Watch him here. Beat his man, move in, hesitate. Now you see that DePayday commits himself, and then with the left foot, the good low shot into the net. 1-0 Strikers. 11:55 to go till halftime.
And so DePayday tried to come out. And he shot it just left to the goalkeeper. So it's 1-0 Strikers. 11:45 remaining in the first half. Lancers have it. Here's Coker. Knocked out by the Strikers. He was covered by the man who just scored that goal, Ray Hudson, team captain for the Strikers. Here's Tuksha. Gets it back to Chila. Chila over to Freddie G. Back to Chila. Now the Strikers moving. Now the Strikers playing like they did against the Cosmos. Close marking. Here comes Freddie G.
What the Lancers want here, penetration passes, such as that one. Move the ball toward the goal, says Coach Klevecka. Back passes, lateral passes, they really may look impressive if you control the ball for a while, but they won't mean much of anything. We have to penetrate with our passes.
Against the Strikers, but Coker hit the referee. Here comes Mourinho with a lot of room. Mourinho with Cavillas breaking on the left-hand side. There's a pass over and a nice header by Sutevsky, but the Strikers still have it. Grabowski with another long shot. Tuksha gets it out. Mourinho heads it, but it goes over to Strenisser for the Lancers, and the Lancers bring it back now, trailing 1-0 in the match with 10 minutes, 35 seconds remaining, and it goes all the way back to Arnie Mauser, the goalkeeper for the Strikers. Mauser gets it over the left-hand side, over to Grabowski. Here comes Grabowski. Grabowski with a lot of room.
Right on the goal, let's give an assist to Bonvalet at 32-32 of the first half. Ray Hudson's goal, 1-0 Strikers, 10-11 left until the midway juncture of the match.
With the Strikers, with that 1-0 lead, not in any particular hurry right now. This is Fogarty. Fogarty taking his time. Fogarty bringing it over the center stripe. Gets it over to Bonvalet, the man who assisted on that last goal. Bonvalet with a nice pass over here to Auguste. Auguste getting around Coker. Here's Mueller inside and broken up by Chila. Nice cool move there by Renato Chila. And the Lancers coming back. That's Sutevsky, a give and go from Strenisser. Here's Stojanovic. Stojanovic waiting. Stojanovic, long ball over to Chila. Broken up there by Hudson. Here's a dangerous situation. Hudson and Mourinho with Mueller and Cavillas all in there. And broken up there by Hashani. Nice defensive play by Laszlo Harshani.
Rochester playing effectively on defense, but again, every pass the Strikers make, penetration passes, constantly. Hudson, Mourinho moving around, dominating play at midfield. The Lancers have not been able to penetrate and make effective passes. We have to change that to change the momentum of the match.
Strenisser with a pass inside to Mike Stojanovic. Broken up by the Strikers. Here comes Fowles back. That was Tuksha. Here's Segota. Segota trying to get around. Here's Freddie G. Freddie with a chance to shoot. Gets it over. Too many pass. Freddie with a shot. Off the post. Here it is again, Tom.
Fred Gergerev, who looks so very impressive, determined to show that he is an outstanding outdoor player as well as indoor. Look at the move and the shot, and Mauser with a dive to the right. It was a great shot.
Okay, here's the corner now, and Strenisser again will take the corner. Let's see if it works this time.
Again, watch for Freddie G to come toward the ball and head it either into the goal or behind him, where perhaps Stojanovic will come off the Coker pick, if you will, and will try to knot this game up.
Here it is. A little bit too far that time, and Mauser comes out to get it and gets it out quickly to Mourinho, but it's broken up. And here come the Lancers back once again. A long ball down to Strenisser. Strenisser being marked by Hudson. And it'll be Lancer corner kick once again.
Quebec would love to see a goal off this play because he feels that it would give his club confidence not only in themselves but in their coach. And remember, this is match 1 under Quebec. They're very impressed with him and his organization, but they want to see results.
Here it is, a little bit lower that time, a little bit too low, in fact. And Marino comes around to get it. He's battling with Sutevsky and Marino. But there's a whistle. And referee Emmanuel Ortiz does not say play on, but it's a foul against the Lancers, against Sutevsky. And Bonvalet will put it back into play. We have 7:16 remaining in the first half. Strikers still lead it by a score of 1-0. Ray Hudson scored the goal from Bonvalet. Here's Marino. Marino over the left to Hudson. Here's Tuchska with a nice move, but it goes back to fouls. And Tuchska has it again. Tuchska with another whistle call. It'll be Lancer ball. Foul against the Strikers. Tuchska getting it into play. Here comes Harshani. Harshani over to Bronco. We have Mike Stanovich breaking down the right-hand side. He gets it back to Strenisser. And there's another foul. Strenisser getting into the play. Over to Bronco. Here's Bronco Segura with a long shot. Wide left. There'll be another goal kick for the Strikers.
And with Ade Coker moving in, trying to get a piece of the ball, perhaps by Mauser. We should remind you, Lancer fans, that Puma is the official soccer shoe of the Rochester Lancers. Admiral is the official uniform supplier of the Lancers.
Here's the goal kick. It goes down to Hudson has it now with a header trying to get over to Mueller. And it goes over to DePayday, who immediately shovels it out on the right-hand side to Jimmy Palahan. Jimmy over to Strenisser. Strenisser moving down the right-hand side. Strenisser over to center stripe, being marked by fouls. A give and go, but Strenisser trips down, still regains possession. And here's Rabowski. Rabowski down the left-hand side. Rabowski moving around. There's that long ball by Rabowski, trying to get into Mueller. DePayday, I don't let it go. A handball, it'll be a penalty kick. Callahan tried to save it.
Ron, perhaps that's where some experience comes in. Perhaps our goaltender DePayday anticipated too quickly, off balance the shot. Actually, no chance at all for Palahani. He had to do what he did.
Ray Hudson will take the penalty kick. This is the shooter against the goalkeeper. An anticipation play. The goalkeeper cannot move until the shooter makes contact with the ball. And then he has to guess right. If he guesses wrong, it's a goal. Usually, it's a goal. Ray Hudson, the team captain, will take it. He's already scored 1 goal, 4:48, and still counting down in the first half. The Strikers leading it 1-0. Here comes Hudson. Here's the shot. Oh, save! He saved it! The alert player that he is. Here it is, Tom.
Enzo just moving out slightly to his right. A brilliant play, but he just had no chance. And, of course, very alertly, the veteran Hudson putting it into the right-hand corner of the net. 2-0 now with 4:09 to go for the Strikers until halftime.
And the Lancers arguing. Bronco Segura still arguing. Keeps arguing. He may get a yellow card. There's the score. Strikers 2, Lancers nothing. 3:55 remaining. Goes back to Tuchska, and the Lancers trying to bring it back down. A nice save there by Enzo DePayday. But Ray Hudson came in to get the rebound. Overshot Freddie G. And here they come again. Bonvalet over the center stripe. Long ball broken up in there by Sutevsky.
That time a real shame, because I think with that save, what it would have done for the confidence. All right, still a good feeling, but it takes a lot of the glitter out when, of course, you end up with a goal, as the Strikers and Hudson did that time.
Lancers behind 2-0. They'll have to start opening up their offense. Starting to take chances. We still have a half to go. 3:09 remaining in the first half. It'll be a throw-in for the Lancers, and Chila will take it. Chila right in front of you there. Gets it over to Coker, but misplayed it, and Bonvalet picks it up. And it'll be a Lancer throw-in once again. Goes into touch.
2-0 now for the Strikers, 2:50 to go until we get to halftime. And don't miss a single minute of exciting Lancer soccer in 1980. We'll continue in a moment, Ron.
Here's Cabillas. Cabillas moving in on shot wide right. Just did go wide right. It'll be a go kick for the Lancers.
The Lancer office open now to accept orders for season tickets as we look at the last play. Cabillas with that great speed of his moving in the shot, and again just wide right, or we were 3-0 Strikers.
Lancers have had one bounce off the post. Freddie G. Here comes Bronco. Bronco moving in on fouls. Bronco gets away from fouls, but is finally broken up in there by Auguste. Here's Freddie G. battling and fouls. Gets it back to Andy Mauser.
Again,
and there's a whistle there, Tom.
Excuse me, Ron, as we await the whistle. The Lancer office now open to accept orders for season tickets. You can call 232-2420 for the Lancer season ticket brochure. That's 16 games of Major League Soccer action just by calling 232-2420.
Here's a direct kick for the Lancers. And it'll be Bronco Segota, I would imagine, taking it. The wall setting up. Here comes Bronco. Bronco scored on a direct kick at Lauderdale last season. Bronco looking to score 1 goal in this game. If he does, he'll tie a league record for goals in consecutive games. He has 9. The record is 10. Now they're trying to get the wall back. Here's Strenisser talking to referee Emmanuel. There's timeout now called by the referee. And they're trying to get everybody back 10 yards. And he's warning them they better go back 10 yards. Fogarty says, okay, we'll move back.
They aren't going to fool the veteran Strenisser at 34 years of age. He's been around a while.
Here's Bronco, broken up. Here's a shot by Jimmy Polahan. That one's broken up by the defense. It comes back to Chila. Here's Chila. Gets it over to Tuksha. Tuksha being marked by Mueller. Tuksha keeps it in. And there's a foul on Mueller. To be Lancer ball. He gets it in to Strenisser. Here's Strenisser inside to Mike Stoyanovich. It goes back to Freddie G. Freddie tried to get it back. It goes back to fouls, and the Strikers have it once again. Tried to get it over to Vovsky. Broken up over there by Harshani. Harshani has it now. Harshani really coming in deep. Tried to get over to Mike Stoyanovich. 2 number 7s down there. John Pott for the Strikers and Mike Stoyanovich for the Lancers.
Pott is a young Danish star who came over to play because of Coach Vanderhart.
Here's Bronco Segota moving in. Bronco could have a shot. And a nice save in here by Ernie Mauser. 2 good shots for the Lancers. 1 off the post. That one a good save by Mauser.
Well, they are aggressive, but watch the anticipation. A very aggressive, experienced Mauser. Bronco moving in, making the move, and the shot will come with the left foot, and look at the dive and the stop to his right.
Nice save by Mauser, playing an outstanding match here. So the Strikers have it. Mauser gets it over to Pott, and here's Auguste. Just have 13 seconds remaining in the first half. And Auguste takes a look at the clock, gets it back to Mauser, trying to stall for time. And Mauser gets it out of danger. It goes into touch, 1 second, and there it is. There's the whistle by the referee. The first half is over. And the Fort Lauderdale Strikers lead the Rochester Lancers by a score of 2-0. And Rochester Lancer Soccer 1980 will continue with our halftime activities right after this.
All right, enough pie-in-the-sky promises. Come down to earth for the main event at Sam Dell Ford, where you pay what we pay for every 1980 Ford in stock. Extra special Sam Dell deals on Courier pickups and front-wheel drive Fiestas, 1980 four-wheel drive pickups under factory invoice, and 30 '79 Fords, hundreds under factory invoice. With 8 dealerships in 4 states, Sam Dell needs used cars for spring and will pay more to buy yours. Yes, Sam Dell will serve you well. A half-mile off Route 490 in East Rochester. You thought gasoline was expensive last year? Well, look at it this year. Then come over to Saxby's for a look at Kubota, the diesel-powered compact tractor for rugged performance at half the fuel cost. Kubota gives you 2- and 4-wheel drive tractors with power takeoff, 3-point hitch, and hydraulic systems standard, plus attachments engineered to handle the tough jobs fast. Kubota Diesel, sold and serviced by Saxby's, the big implement dealer in Mendon. Kubota Diesel and Saxby's service working to save you money.
If you're looking for a light beer with a full-bodied taste of your regular beer, your search will end with Michelob Light. The rich, full-bodied taste of Michelob Light. Don't just compare it to other light beers. Compare the taste to any beer you like. It's that good. Michelob Light. Compare the taste to any beer you like.
Yeah.
WOKR-TV, Channel 13, Rochester.
Back at halftime at Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with the Strikers leading the Lancers by a score of 2-0. Tom Pippins. Ray Klevecka, I think, was happy with his team through the first 20 minutes. He was hoping for a scoreless tie at that point. It was, but 2 quick goals at the end by Fort Lauderdale.
Of course, Hudson scoring once and then scoring again on the penalty kick after the shot was saved brilliantly by Enzo DePede, who in his first match has had some problems, not being an expert, but I think you can tell he's a bit over-anxious and anticipating perhaps too soon, particularly on goal number 1 when he was out of position. Of course, Hudson scored on the rebound, the penalty shot in goal number 2. It was all Lancers early, I think. They came out from the beginning, and I'm sure Ray said, let's go get him. Let's play very, very aggressive soccer. But then, with a brilliant Mourinho, and you're talking about Hudson and so many others, Kubias, of course, up front with Mueller, controlling it, seemed just to be, Ron, I think, a matter of time. And, of course, finally they get goal number 1. The Lancers, though, had 2 very good opportunities.
That's right, they did. That's right.
You tell them
one off the post by Freddie G, and the other one, of course, just missed. A nice save in there by Bonvalet. By the goalkeeper, Andy Mauser, against Bronco Segota. I just lost my earpiece. That's why I'm kind of laughing a little bit here.
It is lovely to be here at Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, isn't it ever?
85 degrees today.
Okay, the official goes Ray Hudson at 32-32 from Bonvalet. And, of course, that penalty shot again by the captain, Ray Hudson. That was at 40-20. As you said, initially, DePede didn't make the save, but he came in. The veteran that he is was right there for the rebound and made it 2-0. He now leads the league in scoring with 9 points, I believe, with those 2, or now 11 points with those 2 goals.
Exactly, but before our fans, I think, become discouraged, and they know soccer well enough to understand this is the first match for the Lancers. Of course, only a couple of weeks ago, it seemed they were in indoors, and now they're coming together under a new coach, a relatively new system, but they say they're organized, and they feel there is leadership now, and eventually it will come. I'm sure Coach Klevecka is not giving up on this match. He'll have a great deal to say at halftime, perhaps about making some changes to make the play for the Lancers at midfield more effective. We'll try to talk to Coach Klevecka just before the second half kickoff, and an old buddy of ours is behind us here in the booth. Perhaps we can bring him along a bit later before the start of the second half kickoff.
We won't divulge his name right now. We'll make it a surprise. We'll see if we do get him on or not. Okay, halftime here at Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with the Lancers down to the Strikers 2-0, and we'll have more halftime activities right after this.
You're the Pepsi generation, the spirit of today. And with every taste of life that's new, well, that Pepsi spirit shines right through. It's that Pepsi spirit. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in. It's that Pepsi spirit. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in.
For the man who appreciates the feel, comfort, styling, and value of handcrafted footwear, McFarland's presents the Johnston & Murphy Collection. Selecting only the choicest leathers, carefully, skillfully working by hand every shoe, produces the incomparable fit, the masterfully designed fashion appearance, and long life wear that is unmistakably Johnston & Murphy. Johnston & Murphy shoes from McFarland's, the complete men's specialty store.
You're about to watch a car spin winter in Rochester. When the elements have gotten the best of what you're driving, bring it to Berco for expert auto painting and body repairs. Get that new car feeling with a Berco custom acrylic bake finish for only $149. Estimates are free on rust and collision work. Make your car like new again at Berco, 140 Dispatch Drive, East Rochester.
We're halftime, everyone, at Lockhart Stadium from lovely Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Tom Pippins. And, of course, we should tell you that at halftime, the Strikers of Fort Lauderdale lead the Lancers by a score of 2-0. This gentleman on my left and your right, a rather familiar face, the former Lancer, an outstanding goaltender and an outstanding individual, Shep Messing. First of all, Shep, everyone wants to know what it is you're doing now and perhaps what's ahead in your near future.
Tom, I really don't know. I came down to Fort Lauderdale 2 weeks ago to do a game for the Toronto Blizzard, and I enjoy Lauderdale, so I've been down here fishing for about 2 weeks. I'm going to continue fishing until something comes up. I definitely want to play outdoor, but I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm staying down here and vacationing right now.
And you look very well with a nice tan. We have just a few moments, perhaps a quick analysis, if you will, of the first half.
First of all, I have to say I feel badly for Enzo DePetta because he made a brilliant save on the penalty kick. Very depressing not to get back up and clear that rebound. I think the problem is, and I think Rochester has an exciting team, but Fort Lauderdale plays with 4 players in the midfield, and it's difficult to sustain an attack. The only hope for the Lancers to score is on a quick counterattack, and I don't feel that they're counterattacking quickly enough. It's going to be tough to build it up.
And we'll try to do that in the second half. Hope that we can. Shep Messing, best of luck to you, and thanks very much for coming on.
Thanks,
always great to see you, pal.
Pleasure to see you.
Of course, again at halftime from Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the score, Fort Lauderdale 2, Rochester nothing. Lancer Soccer 1980 continues right after these words.
The next time you turn on your radio, listen to one great song after another. Listen to WPXY, Pixie 98, the Music FM.
Thank you, America. You've helped the RT French Company to light up 100 candles this year. Yes, we're celebrating a century of great taste. Hi, I'm Marlene Cummins from French's Test Kitchens with another all-time favorite developed by French's. Hot sauce for Frank's, or Coney Island sauce, was developed in our test kitchens in response to the many requests we were getting for a sauce just like the kind you find at hot dog stands, and people are still writing for it. It's so easy. Just brown a 1/4 pound of ground beef, add an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, a tablespoon of French's chili powder, a tablespoon of French's minced onion, 2 tablespoons French's Worcestershire sauce, plus a teaspoon of sugar. Simmer covered 10 to 15 minutes. Spoon over hot dogs. Indoors, outdoors, all year long. Hot sauce for Frank's is very special. For the complete recipe right for Centennial Recipes, the RT French Company, 1 Mustard Street, Rochester, New York, 14692.
Wilbur Mills, details at 11.
Back at Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Rochester Lancers against the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Lancers opener of the season, Fort Lauderdale going into their 4th game with a 2-1 record. Here's the halftime stats. Shots on goal, Strikers lead it 11-8. Saves, Strikers with 5, Andy Mauser. Enzo DePetta with 1. Corner kicks, Strikers have 5, and the Lancers have 3. Fouls, the Lancers have been called for 14 fouls, and the Strikers for 5 fouls. So we're just about ready for the second half kickoff, and we'll be back right after this.
My Tex got more.
Yep.
My man got more.
Yeah.
My George got more.
Uh-huh. More close shaves per blade.
Super 2 Ultrex gives more close shaves than Track 2. Watch. One push pushes out soap and stubble. Your twin blades start clean, sharp for more close shaves. Ultrex slides on Track 2 razors, clicks on Atra. Get Ultrex for more close shaves.
Hey, more close shaves than Track 2.
This is Harry Reisner, CBS News. Listen to CBS for complete news on WPXN in Rochester, your station for news, information, and sports.
Hi, ladies. Monica from the Body Shop. Well, the construction is finally completed at the Irondequoit Salon. We've added showers, sauna, whirlpool, and sun booth. And to celebrate the Irondequoit re-grand opening, the Body Shop is offering 40% off our basic diet and exercise program. That's 40% off at all 6 salons. So join the Slim Set now and save 40%. The affordable figure spa for diet, weight loss, and exercise.
Everybody knows Mazzola is the best agency for motorcycle insurance, but that's just part of the story. Mazzola offers auto insurance to everyone, new drivers and even people who've been canceled. No one is refused. And you can arrange low monthly payments with very little money down, and Mazzola will issue your coverage on the spot. So come on down to Mazzola Insurance, 630 Portland Avenue. They'll get you back on the road.
Back at Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Ron DeFrance along with Tom Pippins, and the Lancers down by a score of 2-0 to the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. A pair of goals by Ray Hudson, the first coming at 32-32, assisted by Bon Belay. And we do have some friends down here, and there you see a part of the large contingent rooting for the Lancers. Of course, most of the fans are rooting for the Strikers, and there's some 16,000 here at Lockhart Stadium. Okay, the other goal, of course, also scored by Ray Hudson. Here it is now. It's a penalty shot, and Enzo DePede comes out, anticipates right, makes a nice save, but while he is down, Ray Hudson, alert as he is, comes over as an easy shot over in the right-hand corner. And there's the second goal, unassisted by Ray Hudson, came off the penalty shot at 40-20. So there's the score, 2-0. A reminder that next Sunday night, the Lancers will be in Toronto. Actually, it's an afternoon match at 2:30 in Toronto. And 2 weeks from tonight, the Lancers will be in Tampa Bay. We'll also be televising that game live here on Channel 13 starting at 8 o'clock. And our home opener will be Sunday, May 4th against Philadelphia, an afternoon affair at 3 p.m. And that'll be the first of 5 straight home games in Holliday Stadium. Vancouver will be in Sunday, May 11th. Afternoon game at 3 o'clock. There's the home opener against the Philadelphia Fury, Sunday, May 4th, starting at 3 o'clock. And as he said, Vancouver comes in May 11th at 3 o'clock. Minnesota, Sunday, May 18th at 3 p.m. Following Wednesday, we take on Toronto once again, so we get Toronto out of the way in 2 quick ones. And that'll be Wednesday, May 21st at 8 p.m. And then we play the same Fort Lauderdale Striker team Sunday, May 25th at 3 p.m. The referee and the linesmen are on the field, and so are the Strikers, but the Lancers are not on the field as yet. Later in the match, we will be picking our Lipton offensive and defensive players of the game. But we won't be doing that until the end of the match. Once again, it is 2-0. We're just about ready for the second half kickoff. The Lancers still have not come onto the field. The Strikers are out there. A little bit about our new coach, Ray Klevecka. He was a former assistant, of course, for the Cosmos. He was head coach at City College in New York for 11 years. He coached the U.S. National Youth Team in 1976, majored in phys ed at LIU, played center forward on the soccer team. He was twice All-America selection in the 63 and 64. He is married. He has 2 daughters. And he became head coach of the Cosmos after Eddie Permati was fired. He had a record of 15-4 with the Cosmos. He set high school scoring records with 43 goals. And he also set a school record with 53 goals in 3 years in college. Referee still waiting for Ray Klevecka and his Lancers to come onto the field.
Klevecka, of course, a All-American player, and I think a good coach for Rochester people will probably be very satisfied with. We had hoped to have an interview for you with Coach Klevecka. However, obviously, he has his Lancers in late, but just now coming on to Lockhart Field to start the second half of play. I'm sure he had plenty to say. Suffice it to say that
All right, the second half just about ready to start. Lancers down 2-0, and they have their work cut out for them. Lancers in the second half will be moving left to right. And the Strikers, of course, right to left. Hudson with 2 goals. Against the Cosmos, it was Cabillas who scored the goals. He had the hat trick. No Lancer to score as yet. Bronco Segota had a good shot, but Arnie Mauser came out and made a fine save. Freddie G, an opportunity. That went off the post. And the score 2-0. And the second half kickoff just about ready. Lancers will kick off. Manuel Schwartz looking for his whistle. And the second half is now underway. Freddie G gets it back to Chila. We'll see what the Lancers do here in the second half. We'll see if they open it up a little bit more, take a few more chances. There's a foul. There's Tuksha getting it right away. Here's Mike Stanovich. Mike with a long lead pass on the right-hand side. Mike with a center, but it goes wide right. And it'll be a go kick for the Strikers.
And Lancer fans, the Rochester Chamber of Commerce will honor the Rochester Lancers with a dinner on April 29th at the Mapledale Party House. This will be just a great opportunity to meet Coach Klebecka and all the Lancer players and the Lancer Gold Diggers. Tickets for the dinner are $10 each and can be obtained by calling the Lancer office or the Chamber of Commerce. The Lancer office is open right now. The number is 232-2420.
Strenicer got that one in the news, I think. Or it was Demir Satevsky. Here comes Robofsky down the left side. There's a nice pass, but it's broken up by Jimmy Polahan. Goes over to Strenicer, but right to Cabillas. There's a shot inside, but the payday right there to make the save. That was Mourinho with the shot. Lancers coming back now. Pass down here to Bronco Segota. Bronco trying to outrace Pot, or Fogarty. And Pot comes over to break it up and send it back in. Mike Stanovich there to meet it. Strenicer gets it back to Mike, a little bit behind him. Gives Cabillas time to give him a tough time. But here's Tuksha. Tuksha has had the ball quite a bit in this match. That's Mike Stanovich over the left-hand side. That looks like Pat Ercole may be in there. We may have had a substitution. Pat Ercole is in the match now. He's over in the right-hand side, number 15 for the Lancers. And we'll have to see who is out. I do not see... Chila's in there. Strenicer's in there. Eddie Coker.
Midway through the second.
So it's Pat Ercole for Eddie Coker. Here's Robofsky. Robofsky, the left half, all the way inside. Trying to outbattle Harshani.
Ron, this Robofsky, of course, replacing, at least for tonight's match, the injured Jameri, was a fine player last year. He initially was a forward. That's why he's so offense-oriented, of course, playing defense tonight, but playing good two-way soccer here at Lockhart Stadium.
So it'll be Lancer ball. 42-25 remaining in the match. The Strikers leading by a score of 2-0. This is Harshani taking it. Fogarty meets it. Over to Mourinho. The fouls. Over to Robofsky, who's played a key part in this match. Robofsky trying to break down the left side. It's broken up there by Strenicer. Goes into touch. And Robofsky with the throw-in. Lancers down 2-0. Here's Cabillas. Cabillas with room now. Chetevsky trying to go after him. Shot inside to Mueller. And there's a whistle. And it's a foul against the Lancers. So it'll be a direct kick for the Strikers. That's Freddie G. Freddie Gergerev talking it over with Emmanuel Schwartz, the referee. Here's Mourinho. Mourinho gets it over to Mueller. Mueller tried to get over to Mourinho, or rather to Hudson, who scored the both goals in this match, but it was broken up, and the Lancers coming back now. Bronco Segota down the left side, being covered by Fogarty. Here's Bronco trying to get around Fogarty, but he doesn't do it. And the referee says play on. Bronco went down behind Hudson. Hudson gets it back to Bonvalet.
With 12 minutes left, another match ongoing this evening, New England and Detroit. That's scoreless.
Here's a long ball inside. That's Jimmy Polahan breaking it up. Once again, Jimmy comes out. Goes off the side of his foot that time. Sheila out racing Robofsky. Sheila down in the corner. Sheila trying to get it away. Sheila does get it away. Gets it off to Harshani. But there's fouls ready to meet it. And it goes over to Cabillas, broken up there by Satevsky. Here's Bonvalet inside to Mueller. And might be a foul called against Jimmy Polahan on that. No, it's just a throw-in. Throw-in by the Strikers. Robofsky will throw it in. He gets it over to Mourinho. Back to Robofsky. Back to Mourinho. Here's Mourinho, covered by Chila. It goes into touch, and it'll be another throw-in for the Strikers. Lancers down 2-0. 40 minutes remaining here in regulation. Mourinho will put it in play for the Strikers. Here's Mourinho over to Mueller. Here's Mueller. There's the payday getting out to greet him. He stopped it. And that was Harshani getting it back to the payday, who made the save. Dangerous situation there. Almost another goal.
Once again, the Strikers continuing to penetrate with the good passes, just dominating play. The Lancers, if they're going to get back into the match, really need a goal very quickly and have to start playing more aggressive soccer at the midfield.
Tuchia gets around Hudson. Tuchia still moving in. Here's Tuchia with a shot, and it's deflected off Fogarty. And here comes Cabillas. Broken up by Sutowski, but it goes into touch. It'll be a throw-in for the Strikers.
Ron, this is just speculation, but you would assume that Ade Coker, who is, of course, coming off the knee injury, really still trying to round into shape. Last season, he played just a bit at the beginning of the campaign and again toward the end of the season. And combine that with the heat and the fact that he's been running a great deal on the wing, perhaps that's why Coach Klebeca decided to sit him down and get in Erkele, who is in outstanding condition for sure.
Pat Erkele in for Ade Coker. Strikers on the move once again. Here's Pot. Pot with all kinds of room over the 35-yard line. He's all by himself. And he shoots it wide right. All right, we have 38:52 remaining. And Rochester Lancers Soccer 1980. We'll be back in just a moment.
And the New England team win 3-0. All right, lads. Refreshments are on me.
Lipton iced tea. Here you go, guys.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Nothing refreshes better than the good taste of Lipton iced tea. Magic. Guess it must be the quality teas they put in these flow-through bags.
That's jolly good. I guess we all like the taste of Lipton.
Of course. Why do you think they call us the tea men?
Copier companies have been introducing small copiers with a very interesting claim.
And it's just as good as a Xerox.
It's just as good as a Xerox. Then one day, this compact copier is very versatile. It even copies on your own letterhead. It's inexpensive, but best of all...
I know, it's just as good as a Xerox.
It is a Xerox. The Xerox 2600, the compact copier that really is just as good as a Xerox.
Back at Lockhart Stadium, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Rochester Lancers against the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Strikers in the lead, 2-0. Nice play over there by Fogarty. It'll be a throw-in for the Lancers.
I will mention to you that we will be announcing the Lipton Tea Offensive and Defensive Player of the Match, as we did last year on the telecast. Back to you.
Strikers get it out. Here's Chila. Chila moving in with a long shot, and it goes high, wide, and right. It'll be a go kick coming up for the Strikers. 2-0. Strikers lead it. 37:06 remaining in regulation.
We haven't had the opportunity, I don't believe, to tell you that Ibrahim Silva, who was released last week by the Lancers on the same day, in fact, that it was announced that Nick Bojanovic was sold to Washington, apparently has been picked up today, signed by the San Diego franchise, so he'll be playing soccer in 1980 in the NASL.
Pushing foul against Cabillas.
Foul on the strike.
And the Lancers will have it. Lancers down 2-0. They could use a goal right here. Here's Harshani. Harshani with a nice pass, lead pass over, a little bit too far for Freddie G. Strenisser battling with Fowles. Fowles wins out, but the Lancers get it back. Here's Chila. Chila gets it over to Strenisser. Strenisser, number 13 for the Lancers. It goes into touch. It'll be Lancer throw-in. Nope, he changed his mind. Referee Emmanuel Ortiz says no, it'll be a striker throw-in. And actually it should be, because it was off Chila.
That was 34-year-old Gene Strenisser. Of course, in 1976, he captained Toronto to the league championship. And, of course, Lancer fans remember a playoff goal that defeated Rochester, scored by Strenisser.
That's Mueller going down. And a foul called against Tuchia. Here's Robovsky overlapping on the left-hand side again, being marked by Sutevsky. Headed away. Inside by Jimmy Polahan. Goes back to Robovsky. Robovsky, who's playing left half, is doing an awful lot of penetrating. Here's Freddie G breaking it up. Freddie G gets it over to Strenisser. Strenisser being marked by Hudson. Here's Sutevsky. Sutevsky gets it over to Tuchia.
Ron, again to point out, the passes the Lancers are making at this time are not the penetration passes that Coach Klebeca told us last night that the Lancers have to have. You have to make the pass forward. We have to see if we can't get something going in that manner.
Down the left side now, Freddie G moving in. Being marked in there by Bonvalet. And it goes, well, we'll have to wait for the call. It'll be a corner kick for the Lancers. See if they can make it work this time. There's number 14, Eduardo Bonvalet. Now, it's a foul. It will not be a corner. It was a foul against the Strikers. Almost as effective. Now, the referee honoring at Mourinho. He's telling Mourinho to back up. This is where you're supposed to stand. It goes out to Chila. Here's Chila. Chila gets it back to Strenicer. Strenicer over to Satepsky. And Satepsky inside to Pat Ercole. Here's Pat with a lot of room. Pat. And broke it up nicely in there by Auguste.
Auguste with a sliding tackle, and Ercole, of course, waiting just a bit too long to make his cross.
But he did get a corner kick out of it. Here comes Strenicer over. And again, I'll say, we'll see if they can make it work this time.
Watch for Freddie Gergerev now to see if he can't head the ball either in or in back to Stojanovic.
There's the kick. There's the header by Pat Ercole. But it goes high over the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick for the Strikers. 33-46 remaining in regulation, with the Strikers leading 2-0.
Fans, this program is authorized under rights granted by Blue and Gold Limited solely for the entertainment of our audience and any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the program. I'll hang on just a moment.
That was Robovsky with a nice cross. And Enzo DePayday coming out with an easy save.
Including the imposition of a charge for viewing the program without the express written consent of Blue and Gold Limited is strictly prohibited.
Here comes Cavillas over to Mueller. Mueller has it, tries to get it back. Oh, broke it up nice by Tuksha. Here comes Tuksha now. Tuksha and Pat Ercole, side by side. Tuksha says get it over to Segota. He does. Here comes Pat moving down the right-hand side. And Bronco went down hard that time. Referee says play on. Doesn't call a foul. Bronco's still down, but he gets up now. Okay, he says give it back to me. He's all set. Here goes Bronco being covered by fouls. Here's Freddie G. Freddie G with a shot. That goes wide left. It'll be a goal kick for the Strikers. 32-29 remaining in regulation. Strikers still lead it by a score of 2-0. Hudson scoring both goals. One on a penalty kick that DePayday stopped, and Hudson came in to pick off the rebound.
A reminder that the announcers and commentators of this program have been selected for and been hired by Blue and Gold Limited.
Here comes Mike Stojanovic over the 35-yard line. Mike gets it into Bronco Segota. Bronco with a shot wide right. It'll be another goal kick for the Strikers. So the Lancers penetrating now, getting opportunities, taking their shots, but not on.
And there's
Bronco
the man.
Segota.
Yes, indeed. Coach Klevecka calls him the star of the 1980s, a superstar at that.
We do have timeout. The clock is stopped, and we'll take timeout. The score, 2-0, favor of the Strikers. Rochester Lancer Soccer 1980 will continue in a moment.
There's a feeling deep inside you, a spirit you just can't hide. And with every taste of life that's new, well, that Pepsi spirit shines right through. That Pepsi spirit, drink it in, drink it in, drink it in. Catch that Pepsi spirit, drink it in, drink it in, drink it in.
For a very long time in England, there's been a maker of men's clothing that has set a certain standard. A standard that has earned Kilgore, French and Stanbury the distinction of being personal tailors to British royalty. And just as Kilgore, French and Stanbury tailor their suits for a select group of men, they also tailor them for a select group of men's stores. In fact, in all of Rochester, there's only one place that can be found, McFarland's, the complete men's specialty store.
Back at Lockhart Stadium, Lancers with a corner kick. Strenicer approaching it. Here it is. Outside and broken up by the defense. That was a goose coming in. Headed it away. We have a substitution. Mike Stojanovic is out. And Craig Miller, he's back at the studio, isn't he? Craig Reynolds is in for the Lancers. It was a throw-in by the Strikers who went by Hudson. Hudson had the ball go by him before he realized that it was thrown in. Okay, Strikers on the move now. Here's Pot. Pot, the sweeper. Penetrating over the 35-yard line. Keeps going. Gets by Streniser. Inside. And here's Fowles. Fowles on the 35. Gets it to Mourinho. Mourinho with a Goost closing on the right-hand side. And they called offsides against the Strikers.
Another soccer score to report for you. San Diego 1 goal, Memphis 1. San Diego and Memphis tied at a goal apiece.
We have 30 minutes remaining in regulation. Strikers leading it 2-0. One coming off the penalty kick that Enzo DePede saved and tipped in. Here comes Freddie G. Freddie trying to get around 3 men. Gets it back to Craig Reynolds. And it goes by Streniser. Here's Cabillas. Craig Reynolds coming back to pick it up. Here's Craig. The Rockport State star. Makes his home in Rochester. Native of Rochester. Gets over to Bronco. Try to break it up by Bonvalet. Keeps going. Here comes Pat Arkley. Picked away. Nicely. By Auguste.
Auguste with good position defense. The veteran, as Arkley tried to turn him around, but couldn't do so.
And that's Bobowski. Getting it over touch. It'll be a throw-in for the Lancers. This is Harshani into Streniser. Pair of players from Budapest, Hungary. Here's a long ball. Broken up by Jimmy Polahan. Here's Tuksha. Tuksha over the left-hand side. This is Pat Arkley. Pat breaking down the left. Stops for a moment. Still has it. Gets it over to Streniser. And there's Pat breaking. Pat inside. He's got an opportunity. He crossed it, but it goes right to Bonvalet, who broke it up.
That time, a very good penetration pass. And Arkley coming in with his speed, and I'm sure that...
Hoping that somebody would be there.
Yes, indeed. And Coach Klevecka wants to generate some offense, and I'm sure this is why a younger Reynolds is in there in this heat for the veteran Stojanovic.
Here's Cabillas over to Mueller. Mueller with a shot, and broke it up in there. Nice play. And I think that was Sheila.
Yes, indeed.
Sheila.
Yes, sir.
With Marino. Marino breaking down, and Sheila broke it up. A nice play by Sheila. It could have been 3-0.
I watched the move in by the German star Mueller. Tries to just find it in the corner, and of course coming in, as Ron mentions, Mourinho, but Sheila was there from his defensive midfield position, if you will, to save the day.
Back live. Here's the corner. Goes inside, over the crossbar. Nice header in there by Mourinho, but it goes over the crossbar. He's shaking his head.
Strikers 2 and Lancers no score. 27:40 to go till the end of the match from Lockhart Stadium. A capacity crowd would be 19,603 this evening. We have 15,072 to watch the Strikers and our Lancers.
And the reason why you don't hear them too well is because we're closed in here by glass, so you don't really get the crowd reaction. Streniser for the Lancers. Gets it into Sheila. They're down 2-0. Over the left-hand side to Pat Arkley. Here comes Pat. Pat with a nice ball inside, and Mauser comes over to pick it up. Glides slightly with his defender, John Pott. There's Mauser getting it out.
27 minutes, a lot of time to go, just a 2-goal difference, but the Lancers really need one quickly, trying to change the momentum of the match, because the Strikers really, although they aren't quite as aggressive as they were in the first half of play, still controlling play and doing a good job of playing position defense, and their defense was outstanding against the Cosmos, as it was just superb against Toronto in the match before that. They appear to be at mid-season form, and the Lancers with their first match.
Here's a pass from Freddie G over to Pat Arkley. Pat with Fogarty covering him. 2 men covering him now. That's Bonvalet breaking it up. Bonvalet playing a strong game here. That's Hudson. And Pat Arkley comes up with it, but there's a whistle. And there's going to be a foul. Foul is going to be on Hudson, and it'll be Lancer ball. Here's Streniser. Streniser gets over to Bronco. Knocked away by Fogarty. Lancers regain possession. This is Sheila. Sheila trying to get over to Freddie. And Fowles coming in to break it up. It'll be striker ball. Mourinho. Mourinho tried to get it to Cabillas. It goes to Cabillas. And he was running side by side with Hudson. That's Craig Reynolds fighting with Cabillas. Craig comes up with it. There's a foul against Cabillas. And there's Craig getting it into play. Gets it over to Streniser. Here's Bronco coming out to get it. Lancers regain possession. Jimmy Polahan. Here's Jimmy over the center stripe. Jimmy still has it. Jimmy Polahan penetrating in. He has an opening. Here he comes. Gets over to Bronco. Bronco covered by fouls. There's a shot by Bronco. Deflected. And almost got to Freddie G, but Freddie didn't really have a chance to get his foot on it. Here's a shot by Pat Ercole. Broken up in there by Pott. And Lancers still have it. Strenisser. Lancers penetrating. Here comes Harshani overlapping. Harshani. Just Polahan back now. There's a long ball by Harshani, but it goes right to Mauser, who makes an easy save. Going to be a goal kick for the Strikers.
Harshani trying to find Pat Ercole moving into the right of the keeper Mauser. And of course, Harshani moving way up, as Ron mentions to you, an indicator, I'm sure, that Coach Klebecka wants his club to play more aggressively. I'm sure he relayed that information in from the sidelines. 24:30 to go. And it's 2-0 Strikers.
There's Pott. So we've had a pair of sweepers penetrating. Harshani for the Lancers. Pott here. Now Pott goes back to his defensive position. He gets it into Cabillas. Cabillas shovels it off. There's a shot and a nice save. Hudson with another shot. Here's Mueller. And it's broken up by the Lancers. There's another shot. And it's blocked by Jimmy Polahan. And Harshani making the saves in there. The ball still loose. And the Lancers finally come up with it. And here they come back in a counter. A long pass down, but it's broken up there by fouls. And Auguste. And Auguste has it now, and it's going back and forth. What a flurry that was. A couple of nice saves in there by the Lancer defense and Enzo DePede. It could have been 3-0. Here's a long ball down the left-hand side. That's Pat Ercole. Pat Ercole still has it. And both players go down. It'll be a foul. Foul against the Strikers, and the Lancers have it. Here you have that flurry.
Flurry of action that time. Mueller trying to score, and then it appears to be Cubillas and DePede getting in there with very good position. And the Lancers averting that third goal.
Harshani and Jimmy Polahan, along with our goalkeeper Enzo DePede, making some fine saves in there, preventing that third goal from going in.
Midway through the first half of play, Dallas and Houston no score. As you look at Ray Hudson, the original striker, who was an outstanding scorer last year. This season, perhaps not quite as concerned about scoring, although you wouldn't know it from tonight. He has both goals, one off a rebound and a penalty kick after a save by Enzo DePede. He's very, very valuable from any position on the field.
He was the fourth leading striker scorer in 1979 with 25 points, despite missing half a dozen games with a broken nose. He's known for his pinpoint passing and also for his shooting. He scored both goals here in this match. We have 23-43 left in regulation. Strikers still lead it by a score of 2-0. Lancers have had a couple of opportunities. Here's one now. Mourinho broken up by Chila. Here's Freddie G and Chila surrounding Mourinho. He still has it. He gets it over here to Bonvalet. Bonvalet playing a fine game both ways. Bonvalet tries to get it to Mourinho, but the Lancers have it. Lancers get it out now. Try to get over to Bronco, but it's picked up by John Pott. And Pott all the way back to his goalkeeper, Andy Mauser. Mauser over on the right-hand side. Over to Fogarty. Here's Bonvalet. Back to Pott. Short passes, not in any hurry. They have the lead, 2-0, 22 and counting down. Left in regulation. Here comes Mourinho. Mourinho with a long ball, broken up by Sutevsky. Sutevsky. We have three Lancers right in the cluster there. And Strenisser now breaks out. He has Craig Reynolds breaking on the right-hand side. Nice pass down to Craig. Craig is open. There's Craig with a... And Bonvalet breaks it up. Bonvalet playing a fine game.
Bonvalet, the native of Chile, is a world-class player, 25. 6 great seasons in Chile, 25 international appearances.
Okay, Cabillas battling with Sutevsky. Cabillas moving in. Cabillas still dribbling, and then it finally ends up in the hands of Enzo DePede, who gets it out, and it goes over to Freddie Gergerev. Freddie gets it over to Chila. Here's Chila. And over to number 13, Gene Strenisser. There's a pass into Pat Ercole, but it's broken up there by Pott. Here comes Tucha. Bad over the Pat Ercole, but it goes wide left, and Andy Mauser comes out to get it. And here come the Strikers back once again. There's Auguste. Auguste gets it over to Bonvalet. Bonvalet with a lot of room. Bonvalet moving in. Looking for somebody to meet him. Oh, and a nice pass by Mourinho over to Hudson. And it... Well, there's a foul against Tucha. Tuksha apologizing. There's a timeout. He gets a yellow card. Here comes referee Emmanuel Ortiz over. Talk to Tuksha. And Tuksha, who kind of makes a habit of picking up yellow cards. He's the Lancer enforcer. He drew 5 yellow cards and was ejected once last season. Here it is again.
Here's why he picked up 1. You don't do that right in front of the linesman, do you?
No, you don't. And that was Ray Hudson, the man who scored both goals. But you can't let the guy get behind you. And as long as you don't hurt him. Here's Cabillas now, broken up by Satupski. Cabillas gets it again. Okay, the Lancers have it. Freddie G comes up with it. Gets it over to Bronco. Bronco tries to get it to Strenicer, but it's broken up there by Bonvalet. Bonvalet has it broken up there by Strenicer, and it comes to Craig Reynolds. Here comes Craig. Craig around Bonvalet. Gets it over the left-hand side. Gets over to Freddie G, and Freddie with a lot of room on the left-hand side. Over here on the right is Chila waving his hand. He has a lot of room. And it goes to Pat, who gets it back to Freddie. And it goes over to Tuksha. Tuksha back to Freddie G. Freddie G being marked by Ray Hudson. Inside now, broken up by Bonvalet. And it finally goes over here to Rabovsky. Rabovsky, who's played some game. He started out as a forward, went to midfield, and then eventually coming over here in the back for Jameri, who is injured. Okay, pass down. Craig Reynolds breaks it up, but it's picked up by Cabillas. Cabillas over to Rabovsky. Cabillas still has it. They're calling out of bounds or in a touch. And we have somebody warming up down here for the Strikers.
That's Greg Villa getting set to come in, an American star. And one of the gentlemen that we expected to see start at the Twin Striker, at least before we watched the Cosmos match last Wednesday.
Incidentally, he was very upset about that. He had quite an argument with the coach.
Supposedly he's in Coach.
Vanderhart.
That's right. Supposedly he's in his doghouse, but getting together right now.
Okay. He comes in for Rabovsky, who's played some game.
And who limps off to the sidelines. Well, Chicago ahead of Tampa, 2-1, and of course we will be in Tampa to telecast that contest live, the Lancers and Tampa Bay, and that will be 2 weeks from tonight, April the 26th.
Long ball by Pat Erkley, but it's broken up over there by Auguste, and Andy Mauser has it.
Hope you don't miss a single minute of exciting Lancers soccer in 1980. The Lancer office is open now to accept orders for season tickets. Call 232-2420 for the Lancers season ticket brochure.
That one went all the way into Mueller. Nice play in there by Satevsky. Satevsky playing a fine game on defense for the Lancers. Here comes Auguste overlapping. Lancers could have an opportunity here with Auguste out of position. Over the left-hand side of Bronco Segota. And it's in the corner now. That's Fogarty. Battling with Segota. On delay in there. Game 5. Yes, he has.
Has done a super job on Segota. Again, ladies and gentlemen, just call 232-2420 for 16 games of Major League Soccer action. And there's your number.
232-2420.
Operator standing by now.
18:09 remaining in the match. In fact, we have timeout in the field for an injury. And with that timeout, we'll take timeout. Rochester Lancers Soccer 1980 will continue with the Strikers leading the Lancers 2-0.
To every man who works with fire and steel, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you, for being on the job and working hard all day. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. This Bud's for you. This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
Hey, this Bud's for you.
Back at Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ron DeFrance along with Tom Pippins. Time running out on the Lancers. They're trailing the Strikers 2-0 with 17:28 left in regulation. Shots on goal, Strikers 17 and the Lancers 10. Saves for the payday 5, and for Mauser, he has 2. And Ray Hudson scoring both goals. The captain, he now leads the NASL in scoring. Of course, the Strikers with 4 games under their belt, including this game.
Just before we took the break, we saw Bronco Segota on the ground. He is all right, just shaken up a bit. In fact, Bronco was given a caution. It comes at 71:49 of the match as Mauser moves over to his left for an easy pickup.
And the Strikers coming back now. Here's Villa. Villa, big boy. Trying to move around Satepsky. He holds onto it and gets it back to Fowles. Over to Mourinho. Here's Mourinho. Mourinho's favorite man is Hudson. It seems like whenever Mourinho has the ball, it goes there. It goes to Hudson again. Inside, and it goes right to Payday, who makes the save.
We talked about the total soccer concept, and we asked Coach Klavecka last night, does Coach Vanderhart play total soccer? He says no, because total soccer means every player, obviously with the exception of the keeper, moving up and down, playing offense and defense. And Mueller, of course, basically is the center forward, if you will, a striker who plays nothing but offense. So much more aggressive soccer on the part of the Strikers, but not the true total soccer concept that originated in Holland.
Nice play in there, corner. That was Bonvalet once again breaking up a pass and starting the Strikers back. Oh, a nice slide in there by Fogarty. Fogarty also playing a strong game on defense for the Strikers. We're going to have to pick a Lipton offensive and defensive player of the game. And somebody is down once again. Looks like it's Bronco again.
Well, he is. The Desenex Cruex Youth Soccer Clinic will be held on Saturday, May 3rd, the day before the Lancers home opener. The clinic will be held at Lauderdale Stadium, and it is free. 25 NASL soccer balls and 1,500 T-shirts will be given away, along with free gifts from Desenex and Cruex. That's the Desenex Cruex Youth Soccer Clinic, free Saturday, May 3rd, from noon to 3 p.m. at Lauderdale Stadium.
Bronco getting up now. Bronco, of course, needs one more goal, and he won't get it. He will not tie the record because he is going out, I believe. I think Ray Klavecka is taking his star out. He's been injured last two sequence of plays, and coming in will be Lukic from Philadelphia, I believe, Tom.
Dusan Lukic, the veteran who had a pair of assists, I believe, in the 3-0 victory. The telecast that we brought to you from Philadelphia last year, March 31st.
He has it right now. He's number 4, and it's broken up. Broken up there by Hudson. Hudson over to Mourinho. And the Lancers have it now. Satepsky. Satepsky gets it over to Tuksha. Here comes Tuksha. Tries to get into Lukic. Broken up in there by John Pott. And it goes into touch, and it'll be a Lancer throw-in. 2-0. 15:02 remaining in regulation. Here's Lukic. Lukic gets it back. Lancers coming in. Sheila back to Lukic. Lukic tries to get it inside to Strenicer. Doesn't work. Broken up by Bonvalet. And here's Arnie Mauser. Gets it out to John Pott. They want to take all the time they can. They're resting on a 2-0 lead with only 14.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Here comes Fogarty. Fogarty, number 7 for the Strikers.
Mauser, of course, the keeper for the Strikers, has a shutout going, and he came in as the American Conference leader in that department with a 0.63 goals against average. He has been very strong in the net so far this season, to say the least. He has a shutout going now with 14:10 to go till the end of the match, and 2-0 for the Strikers.
He made one outstanding save on Bronco Segota. The score could very well be 2-1 at this point in a much closer match.
Now, we were told that Bronco would play at least a half. He's played more than that. We had heard where he had some ankle problems. Ron, were you also talking about a hamstring problem when you went to camp?
When he was playing indoor, he developed a hamstring, and he was going at about 80%. There's the score, 2-0. Strikers leading Lancers. And it's been coming along, but he is not 100% yet. And Ray Klavecka feels that with the heat, he'll get a fresh man in there. And Bronco's been injured the last 2 plays that he was in on. There's Mueller trying to turn around, but the ball went a little bit too far, and DePayday came out to make the save. 13:27 remaining. Time running out on the Lancers. Strikers have it once again. Ray Hudson tried to get into Mueller. Broken up by Jimmy Polahan. Here comes Strenisser. Strenisser with Pat Arkley breaking down the left, but Auguste right there with him, so he had to stop. Auguste, a big man. Here's Tuksha. Here's Craig Reynolds on the right. It's broken up by Cabillas. Here comes Cabillas back. Cabillas racing down. Tushka after him. Here's Jimmy Polahan and Harshani trying to head him off, but he went right by Harshani. But the payday did make the save.
Last year, of course, Harshani, the captain of the San Diego Sockers, the 29-year-old Hungarian star who has done a creditable job this evening, I think. But again, the match seems to have been won, at least to this point, by the Strikers at the midfield position. They are just tremendous at that position, and they're playing the very good defense around that you alluded to in the first half of play.
Most people were predicting after the Strikers beat the Cosmos 4-1 on Wednesday night, a complete wipeout here against the Lancers. They are playing their first match. This is the Strikers' fourth, as we said, and they've been playing together. The Lancers have not. Ray Klevecka is going to learn an awful lot from this match, win or lose. Here's Pop. Pop breaks it up. Fouls. Fouls gets it over to Villa. Villa, late game substitution. Way cross field to Auguste. Auguste has a lot of room down that right-hand side. Here comes Auguste. Oh, broken up. Nice by Chila. Here comes Chila back, racing with Auguste. Auguste can move for a big man. Auguste has an outstanding left-footed shot, but he hasn't had the opportunity to take it.
He was acquired, as we told you earlier, from Tampa Bay for cash. He has that intimidating size and aggression, a very good distributor. He's shown us that this evening, a tight marker. We've seen that 5 NASL seasons with the Rowdies, twice a second-team All-Star with Tampa Bay.
Lancers running out of time. 11 minutes remaining in regulation, down 2-1. Freddie Jones right to Arnie Mauser. Nice play.
Bit of a scissors that time by Freddie.
Mauser always seems to be in the right spot at the right time.
That's right.
This time it goes back to the payday. Here it is, Tom.
The name of the game again, anticipation and position. Watch Freddie up in the air. Beautiful move in the air, but Mauser, again,
right
just
there.
waiting for him. And he's a veteran.
Okay, we're back live now. Strikers have it. Bonvalet gets it over to Villa. Here comes Villa. Strunners are coming over to meet him. What a difference there. Here's Villa. Villa moving in. But Jimmy Polahan there to break it up. Here comes Jimmy. Gets it out here to Lukic. Lukic moving down. He has room. He gets over to Pat Arkley. Pat Arkley over the midfield stripe. Gets over to Lukic. Lukic looking for somebody. He finds Tuksha. Tuksha over the 35-yard line, being marked by Ray Hudson. Hudson goes down, but Tuksha still has it. Here's Tuksha over to Lukic. Over in the corner, broken up there by Hudson. And Auguste has it now. And Auguste gets it out of trouble. There comes over to Mourinho. Look at the way Mourinho handles that. Look at that. My goodness. 3 straight volleys by Mourinho. And he gets a nice hand. Here comes Cabillas. Look at that speed. And a shot high into the stands. 9:46 remaining in our match in regulation time with the Lancers down 2-0. Lancers would like to pick up at least 1 point here.
Mourinho, I feel, is the key to this contest. He has been the key acquisition for the Strikers, doing just a marvelous job from his midfield position. He scored all 3 goals for Cosmos last season against the Strikers. And he does so many things effectively, and he can score, of course. And as we said to you earlier, it doesn't take a great deal of intelligence to tell you that this game is being won so far at the midfield. The advantage, of course, to the Strikers.
Craig Reynolds has it for the Lancers. Broken up there by Villa, but the Lancers get it back. Strenisser knocked down by Mueller. And the foul against Mueller. Here's little Gene Strenisser next to Villa.
Last night, Coach Klevecka was telling us, in addition to the midfield, that watch as you're making an attempt to analyze the game for the fans, Tom. Watch the play at the upper third.
There's a shot. Excuse me, Tom. Save by Mauser, but he lets it go out of bounds.
Excuse me, Ron. A hard
Over
shot by Tuksha with a left foot. He's shown us some power. But he said, watch the play at the upper third. In other words, if you see the Strikers up to our third of the field a great amount of time. That means that we're losing at the midfield. They're much more effective. They're attacking. They're penetrating with their passes. And really, I think that's just what's happened. We haven't been able to execute quite as we would have liked to.
Here's the corner. Fowles gets it. Hudson tried to get it. Goes back to the Lancers. Over to Craig Reynolds on the right side. Here's Craig. Gets it back to Harshani. Here's Harshani with a quick shot. Broken up there by Pott. And Mueller has it. Mueller over to Cabillas. Tries to get it back to Mourinho, who's racing down with Satevsky. And Satevsky gets it back to DePayday. DePayday quickly gets it out here to Craig Reynolds over on the right. And Craig bring it back for the Lancers. We have 7:52 remaining. Over on the right-hand side, maybe a little bit too far. Saved in there by Jimmy Polahan. It goes over to Strenicer. And Strenicer gets it over to Lukic. Lukic over to Chila. Over to Reynolds. Reynolds with a lob inside. Goes a little over Freddie G's head. And Auguste over there to get it. Auguste lets it go out. And it'll be a goal kick for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers.
With 7:20 to go and the Strikers up 2-0 on our Lancers, we would remind you that Puma is the official soccer shoe of the Rochester Lancers. Admiral is the official uniform supplier for the Lancers.
And with very little time remaining, we also have to pick out an offensive and defensive star of the game. And we'll be announcing that shortly. Cabillas coming down. Cabillas with a lot of room. You can't give him a lot of room. He has a lot of players down. There's a shot. Knocked out of the hand of DePayday. And DePayday does make the save. And he quickly gets it out on the right-hand side to Renato Chila.
It was Ray Hudson with the aggressive move, but of course...
knocked it out of the hands of DePayday.
No harm, no foul, I guess. But we need a goal in a hurry.
Here's Satevsky. Gets it into Strenicer. Strenicer playing a fine game. Down the right-hand side. Nice pass. Knocked off the play by Fowles. And it goes over the goal. And it'll be a goal kick for the Strikers. Just 6:14 remaining in the match. Strikers lead it 2-0. Lancer Soccer 1980 will continue after this.
Don't forget.
Lead Continent. 5:04 remaining here at Lockhart Stadium. The Lancers against the Strikers. The opener for the Lancers for the 1980 season. Strikers in their fourth match. They're coming in here with a 2-1 record. And it's a direct kick now for the Lancers. It'll be Freddie G taking it.
We had a foul Bonvalet for taking down Pat Ercole, apparently.
5:04 remaining. And, whoops, Mourinho says, wait a minute. And, he goes right back to where he was. Here's the shot. And a save by Mauser. Mauser right there.
Well, Lauderdale Stadium has traditionally been the stronghold of the Lancers, and the Lancers will open the 1980 home season 3 weeks from tomorrow, Sunday, May 4th at 3 p.m. Be on hand when the Lancers take on the Philadelphia Fury and their new coach, former Cosmos coach, Eddie Fermani. Youngsters of all ages can start collecting Lancer trading cards courtesy of Pepsi and Wendy's. A different card will be passed out at each game, and you'll see the Lancers home opener if you attend Sunday, May 4th at 3 p.m. against the Philadelphia Fury, of course, at Lauderdale Stadium.
Strikers have it. Mourinho. Mourinho being marked by Chila. Gets it over to Hudson. Whenever Mourinho has it, Hudson ends up with it. Here's Hudson in the corner. He's being marked by Tuccia, trying to get around Tuccia. And there's a whistle. It'll be a foul against Tuccia.
Penalty on Tuccia. Free kick, Strikers.
There is our Lipton offensive player of the game, Ray Hudson. He has scored both striker goals. And he is now leading the NASL in goals. There's the corner. DePayday tries to go up for it. And he was knocked off the play, and there was a foul called against the Strikers, probably against Villa, who was right in the middle of things there. He's a big boy. Here's the Payday. Payday gets over to Satevsky and back to the Payday. And there's only 3:35 remaining. Payday gets it out. Payday's played a fine game. 1 goal scored against him. The other came on the penalty as a result of the penalty shot. And there's a foul against Fogarty. Okay, Lancers bringing it back now, running out of time, 3:15. They're down 2-0. That's broken up by the Strikers, and they get it back down. Here comes Chila. Chila gets over to Harshani. And back to Chila once again. Over to Tuksha. Tuksha's played a fine. He's been all over. He's been working hard.
The Lancers, unless they can rally late, will not avert their first loss of the season and their first match of the 1980 season. And of course, for Fort Lauderdale, they're looking for their third victory in 4 regular season tries in 1980.
Here's Craig Reynolds with the cross. That's broken up. Nice play.
Strikers on top of the American Conference East.
Coming up for the Lancers.
There's our Lipton Defensive Player of the game, Eduardo Bonvalet, who has played a fine game on defense. Seems like we are always calling his name out, breaking up passes, starting plays, counterattacks. So here's our look. There's a header by Bonvalet. He gets it out. There's a shot over the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick for the Strikers.
Sean Lukic with the effort. Don't miss a single minute of exciting Lancer soccer in 1980, fans. The Lancer office is open now to accept orders for season tickets. You just call 232-2420 for the Lancer season ticket brochure. 16 games of Major League Soccer action. Just call that number, 232-2420. 154 to go until the end of the match, and the score, Strikers 2 and the Lancers here at Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, nothing.
And they haven't played that bad. They did not have the breaks. Gergiev had one off the pole, off the post, and could have been a goal. And, of course, Bronco Segota with that hard shot on Arnie Mauser, and who made a nice save, of course. On the other end, DePayday had a couple of breaks, too. Some good hard work by the defense, kept a couple of possible goals out, and they limited them to just one goal, actually, because the other came on a handball and a penalty kick, and Ray Hudson took it, and DePayday saved it, but Hudson came in to take the rebound. So it's 2-0. Cabillas goes into touch. It'll be a throw-in. Villa gives it to Cabillas, who will throw it in for the Strikers.
Most important, with a minute now left to go, the Lancers and Coach Klevecka are learning a great deal. Coach Klevecka in his initial season with Rochester. As we look at, I believe, Mourinho, who's down for just a moment.
Yeah, Sheila knocked him down. I mean, he's okay. He does a pretty good acting job out there. It's Bonvalet.
Klevecka learning a great deal about his personnel, and of course, I'm sure he'll make adjustments accordingly.
Don't forget now, the Strikers in their 4th match. They've been playing together for 4 matches. This is the Lancers' first. We're counting down now, 32 seconds. There's a long pass down, but the payday comes out to break it up. So the Lancers will go down to defeat. They do not score a goal. They are the last of the undefeated in their division. All the other teams, Cosmos. Oops, there's a trip by Hudson. Goes over to apologize to Swinnerser. And Lancers have it back. Here comes Tucci. We're counting down to 6 seconds. Broken up by Bonvalet again. Bonvalet, our Lipton defensive player of the game. We're counting down to 0, and that's it. The final score, Fort Lauderdale Strikers 2, Rochester Lancers nothing. Just a reminder that next Sunday, the Lancers will be in Toronto for a 2:30 kickoff. And 2 weeks from tonight, the Lancers will be in Tampa Bay, and we'll also be telecasting that game back live from Channel 13. The Strikers, well, they're #1 right now, I guess. Our thanks to our fine crew that helped us out here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. On behalf of Tom Pippins, this is Ron DeFrance. Hoping to see you in 2 weeks from Tampa Bay. And meanwhile, go to Toronto. So long, everybody.
This has been Lancers Soccer 80. Today's game between the Rochester Lancers and the Fort Lauderdale Strikers has been brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And Pepsi-Cola Bottlers of Rochester. Be sure to join us on Saturday, April 26th at 8 p.m. as the Lancers travel to Tampa Bay and take on the Rowdies. This has been a 13 Sports exclusive.
And the wine, monsieur? Red, white, blue?